They have been taught this since the early 90s, and it's not just in school. Does anyone remember a program on TV in the early 90s called Captain Planet? The Adventures of Captain Planet?
I didn't watch it.
Okay. This was he was kind of like a Superman character that flew around and squashed greedy, evil corporate polluters, you know. Who initiated this show?
Ted Turner.
Who said that?
Ted Turner.
You're right. Very good. Ted Turner, all right. Ted Turner also donated over $1 billion to the United Nations in the 1990s, all right? And he still has, through his kids, still run the Captain Planet Foundation. Now, when I talk about this, the reason I brought this up is because I ran across a quote, an actual quote from another very infamous world leader who rose to power in a country and changed that country into an image of environmental efficiency and population control and management. And this quote, this is what this man said. When an opponent says, "I will not come over to your side," I calmly say, "Your child belongs to us already. What are you? You will pass on. Your descendants, however, will stand in the new camp. In a short time, they will know nothing else but this new community." That was a quote from a speech in November of 1933 in the German Reichstag by Adolf Hitler, quoted by William L. Shirer in his book, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. All right. So what can we do? First thing you can do, you can stay informed about what's going on in your city and county and in your school district. Find out who the players are in the Agenda 21 NGOs and other radical organizations which want to rob you of your liberty and property. For example, one of the names on that blue brochure is a man by the name of Harvey Reuven. Harvey is a local city planner in Florida and a big cheerleader for ICLEI. And he has been quoted as saying, "Individual rights will have to take a back seat to the collective," end quote. Another name on your brochure, J. Gary Lawrence, a planner with the city of Seattle and was an advisor to President Clinton's Council on Sustainable Development. Mr. Lawrence has been quoted as saying, "Participating in a UN-advocated planning process would very likely bring out many of the conspiracy-fixated groups and individuals in our society. This segment of our society would actively work to defeat any elected official who joined the, quote, conspiracy by undertaking Agenda 21. So we call our process something else, such as comprehensive planning, growth management, or smart growth," end quote. So that's why I emphasized all those buzzwords of Newspeak earlier, because that's what you'll see. You will not see Agenda 21. You will not see the Del Norte Planning Commission say, "Oh, well, we're going to start an Agenda 21 program to, block human contact with Smith River." No, they're not going to do that. There'd be a right. But they will talk about things like smart growth, comprehensive planning. Okay. There again, the rattlesnake is rattling before he strikes. Second, and this is most important, all you Tea Partiers can relate to this, follow the money. These groups that I have described to you, they do not operate in a vacuum. For example, I'm going to have to refer to Curry County because I'm not really up too much on what's going on here in Del Norte, but if you'll bear with me for just a second. There was a local controversy recently in Curry County involving an NGO called the Chetco Watershed Council. And basically what this group was, here again, was a bunch of unelected stakeholders that got together and created a crisis because fishermen at low water were driving their vehicles out onto a gravel bar in the middle of the Chetco River to fish for steelhead and salmon. "Oh, you're polluting our river. Oh, what was us? This is a crisis. This will ruin it for future generations." Well, for example, both the city of Brookings and the harbor, the unincorporated area, get their water from the Chetco River. They are mandated by Oregon law to test the water. And every year, since I'm a resident of the city of Brookings, I get a little letter in the mail from the city that says, we have tested your water, and it meets and exceeds all the guidelines by the federal government for clean and pure water, and therefore the only thing we do, Mr. Johnson, is put some chlorine in it, period. So, and for example, any citizen, any one of us here can go to a hardware store or certain websites and buy a water test kit and test your own household water. And I've done it. And you know what? The city's right. It's drinkable. There's no crankcase oil. There's no antifreeze. There's no hydraulic brake fluid in my water. But you have this stakeholder group, the Chetco Watershed Council. Now, getting back to following the money. If you go to their website and you scroll down to the bottom of their website, you will see they are part of a larger NGO called WISER, WISER.org. And if you go to wiser.org, which is based, I'm pretty sure, if I remember, in the Bay Area, go figure, right? You will see who their donors are. And among their donors is a very radical leftist organization called the Tides Foundation, which was started by Teresa Hines Carey, the filthy rich widow who Mr. Swiftboat married, or Senator Swiftboat married a while back when her own husband was killed. Yeah, she inherited the pickle fortune, right? The ketchup fortune. Anyway, and in 2009, this Tides Foundation was given a donation of $20 million by our old buddy, George Soros. So follow the money, people. This is what you have to do. Then, the second aspect of following the money is keeping close tabs on what the local political hacks are spending your tax dollars on. For example, Oakland, California. They bought into ICLEI and they got the International Building Code. Well, guess what happened? You wanted to sell a house in the city of Oakland? You had to bring your house up to the environmental standards of this International Building Code. And in one particular case that I researched on the internet, a homeowner could not sell his house because to bring it up to the international environmental standards would have cost him over $35,000. So, my comment to the citizens of Oakland is, how's that Agenda 21 working out for you now? When your cops are quitting in droves, crime is going through the roof, and business is leaving that city. All right? Calvin Coolidge, we didn't say much, but when he did speak, he made a lot of sense, said, the business of America is business. Agenda 21 puts America out of business. All right? Now, the lesson here is do not vote any tax on yourselves for any reason, no matter how much the local politicians and their useful idiots in the community or their useful lapdog idiots in the media tell you that we need this. All right? No one's life, liberty, or property is safe while any legislative body is in session. Third, educate other people. Turn off your television. You have much more important things to worry about than who got voted off Dancing with the Stars last week, or some other nonsense. I know it drives me crazy. You know, my wife, I got to go in my man cave when that thing going on. You know, putting around through the television, shooting it out. If you belong to a local women's group, for example, or a civic group, get together with them and talk about Agenda 21 and how it is impacting or will impact your community. Remember that in spite of all the sweetness and light emanating from Hollywood on the Potomac, our economy is in deep trouble, and so is our community. Remember what the spotted owl did to logging in Northern California and Oregon and Washington. All right? You can see right here between Del Norte and Curry counties what these contrived, arbitrary marine fishing reserves are doing to the commercial fishing industry that is just trying to make a living and feed their wives and children. They're working Americans just trying to survive. They are not environmental busybodies getting government grants or private foundation money to run around the country and prevent working people like us from hunting, fishing, harvesting, grazing, or mining. This is our country. It is not the United Nations. It doesn't belong to them. It belongs to all of us in this room. We need to protect it and to protect our God-given rights of property and liberty.